Hello and welcome to Play Game Fast, Reni. Would you mind introducing yourself to the audience?
Yeah, sure, no problem. I'm Reni, or also known as Emiko, Sharp's Double Rifle, OrrinAccount, or basically like 30 other names. But I am one of the server administrators for the Google speedrunning community. I am also involved in the Minecraft speedrunning community, Cetera speedrunning community, and like a bunch of others. But I won't get into that now.
Well, speaking of this bunch of others, I actually did want to ask you, just scrolling through your speedrun.com profile, you have 1,875 total runs and
That
almost
is correct.
50
Yes.
hours of runtime. Well, I just want to ask, what were your favorite and like least favorite runs out of those?
That's a tough question. Let's see. I think my favorite speed run has to be my first full game speed run ever, Nerf and Strike for Wii. The reason why is because it's one of my childhood games, and it actually got me into speed running. I saw there was some speed runs of it on YouTube, and I wanted to try my hand at it. So that's probably my favorite run. Least favorite, however, I am not sure. That's a hard one. Uh, Probably one of the super long ones.
Yeah.
I'll have to get back to you on that.
Yeah, I can understand that. Scrolling through this immense list. Um,
Yeah, and
go on.
oh, sorry. And sometimes when I go onto like the game pages, right, and I see all these other games, they're like, "Wow, I want to speed run that." And I click their thing, and it's like super long. I'm like, "Ooh, maybe not." And I scroll by and go back to Cetera. So,
Crap. Well, I'm gonna go play the funny map game now.
yeah, that's pretty much how I roll. I like the shorter ones better. I mean, I'm not like a guy who like goes to like when he adds games, I don't go like add like the worst categories. I used to be like that. I'm not like that anymore.
Yeah.
Uh
Glances at like thousands of IL runs.
oh yeah. I think one of the Google games I moderated, it was Chinese New Year 2013, had a category called anti high score, which is just getting zero. And it was like it had like 50-way tie for first place. And it was just a trash category. I'm sorry. It was you didn't do anything.
You
You
just
just
wait for the
sat there
timer
for
to run out, don't you?
Yeah, that was dumb. It was a dumb category. And eventually I came to my senses and I was like, I need to get rid of this. So I just decided to just delete it and I didn't care what anyone said. So
Goodbye.
yeah,
Please do
I think
something else with your life except waiting for a solid 2 minutes.
yeah. And it wasn't even that. It was like 45 seconds, but yeah, I was looking through the audit log and that same guy, the guy who added it was actually one of the people who has like one of the really questionable runs on White Tiles 4. And so, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I was scrolling through and I saw that you had a whole list of stuff you'd done in that game.
Oh yeah, it's one of my first speedrun games. It's like it's one of the few games where I can actually brag about how good I am at it. Most of the other games I run just for like another run.
Yeah. Although with all of these games, so what kind of slid you into the Google community? I haven't been around for too long, so I'd like
Yeah.
to hear.
So it's kind of shallow, really, really shallow, in fact. So there was this one guy. His name was Afnanin136, right? And like back in like 2020, I used to be
Cut out a bit
bad
there.
with mod farming. I don't mod farm anymore. I don't do it. Don't do it, kids. Yeah, but I was really bad then. But I was just getting my footing started, right? And one of the games I wanted to mod was Google Chinese New Year 2013, and Afnan modded that. So I asked him, "Hey, can I be moderator for that?" And he kept saying, "No, no, no." Then think one time I asked him, "Hey, if I gave you this mod role, would you give me that?" He's like, "Okay," and he gave me it. And then pretty much I entered the Google speedrunning community because I was a mod for a game. Then I just kept getting more and more and kept getting more stuff, and sooner or later I was server administrator.
Hey, you guys need
It's
someone with
quite the
too much
shallow
free
reach.
time?
Yeah, it was quite the shallow way to get in, and but that's how I got started in it.
I mean, I looked at Champion Island and I was like, I wonder if they run this. And then I saw Wasiosi had my dreams crushed and just started running it casually.
Yeah, yeah, that's a lot of things. The Google speedrunning community back then, it was basically just like it was a mess. Just say that a mess. Majority of the games had moderators that just wanted mod roll and that's it. And they hardly took care of the game. And it wasn't that great. Google Snake was probably the only developed part of the Google speedrunning community. It's way different now because like now the Google speedrunning community they are dedicated as frick. They freaking love Google and they constantly go on game forums that are like slightly off and always just yell at the mods who aren't like entwined in, and it's I kind of like it more than what it used to be because like now people are really passionate about it. It's like back then it was no, it was not like that.
Yeah, I remember mentioning that over back when we people started trying, like people tried to start up Doodle December. People were like, "So if you win that game, we could probably give you mod roll, unless we're especially going to give you mod roll if the guys
Yeah.
are inactive."
Yeah, that whole Doodle December, that was a massive failure, and I that's one of my biggest failures ever. I thought when I imagined it, I thought it was just going to be this grand, epic speedrun competition. Everyone's going to love it, and then like by like the end of the first week, no one cared, and it basically like it lasted like a couple of days after that, and then we just said, all right, no one cares, only one person's doing it. Let's just
Here
give
you
them
go,
the winner
Mario.
roll, and that's it. Yeah, it was really sad, and that's probably why I'm not probably not gonna host any competitions or stuff like that in the future. Maybe I will. I want to host a marathon at one point, but not for a while.
Yeah, I feel like I remember a few other people being a bit excited about it, but then obviously it didn't interest much when it actually came around, except for just
Yeah,
Mario who was
I think
grinding it out.
yeah, I think the main problem with Doodle December was it was a whole month. All right, that's way too long for a competition, and it was over different games, and not everyone cares about all those different
Oh yeah,
games.
I was just waiting out for Champion Island Day,
Yeah,
and then it got
so I
canceled
feel
before
like
that happened.
Yeah, I feel like moving forward, it's best if just like single game competitions, and that's it. So
Yeah, you mentioned that. I want to bring up the Champion Island server had a competition of a tournament, but with randomized goals, and that lasted about a
yeah,
month as well.
yeah. Here's the difference between the thing to how Doodle December was and how the Champion Island was is that Champion Island people, majority of them aren't in the main Google speedrunning server, and because of that, they're way more dedicated to that one game minus like 50 other games.
Yeah,
So that's why that server in Pacific was able to do it very well. Same with Google Snake. Google Snake is super dedicated as well. So, and that's why
I cut out there for a second.
game than having it over 50 games, if you know what I mean.
I Oh, you cut out there for a second, but I think I get you just. Um, I think it. I think the pattern there is just it's the games that grew big enough to have their own Discord server, Champion Island and Snake.
Yeah,
So people who
yeah.
were interested saw
Also,
that.
yeah, and I want to also point out that that won't work for every Google game because they tried that with Fourth of July and it worked for like a couple months, but the community completely died off. Strike Arrow lost all motivation for speedrunning related stuff, and it just fell apart. And so that's why the really big ones, like Champion Island, is a really big game compared to like, and even some simple games like Snake. That
Star
Snake is just
Trek.
a general game. Fourth of July is too, yeah. Fourth of July is just too specific for one server. It has to be. I think it would work better just as in the collective, like the Google server for all the other games.
Yeah. Um, Looking at the channels in the Google server, it's just kind of all the ones that don't have their own server, like the ones that are good enough to have their own channel, but not quite good enough to have their own server. And then we've got minor, multiple, and other at the top.
Yeah, honestly, I think minor games is probably one of the best decisions we made once I got Series Mod because Like back then, they used to add literally any Google game, and like that's how we ended up with Star Trek and all those other trash
Gross.
titles. I mean, I don't like saying leaderboards are trash, but I have to be honest. The Star Trek leaderboard was garbage. It's just
Hey,
the
Killed,
truth.
you hear that?
Yeah,
Killer Dragon
yeah,
is
man.
set on proving to us that Star Trek
Yeah,
is deeper
and there
than
was
we
like
all
there was like
understand.
what? Oh yeah, and there's like one guy who seriously loved it, and then when he got, it's funny because he super loved it. He was passionate about it. Like, how are you passionate about this? It takes 3 clicks to beat the game.
That
So
probably killed because he's still like to this day he goes on about like it. Yeah, I feel like he wrote a whole paper on why it was a
thing,
proper speed run.
yeah, no, this guy, it wasn't killed. See, killed loves it because it's funny. That's why he loves it so much. When it like this guy, however, he was serious about it. He really liked it, and had the category separated by monitor. That's when you know it's a bad speed game. When you have to separate the monitor. So yeah,
Yeah,
but you know, it no longer exists, and I think that's for the best.
yeah. There's a few games like that. Like speaking of which, V Day 2022.
Yeah. Day 2022. I think it was a good call not to add that. That game, it really wasn't a great speed game in general, and so I don't know. I'm pretty sure that I trust Red Mushroom's word because I never played it, but
Oh yeah, no, it was
yeah, I
instead
don't
of
think.
3 clicks, it was actually 5 clicks, with some of them being drag clicks. That's it.
Yeah, yeah,
Nothing more.
yeah. I agree with not adding it to even the minor games because minor games.
All right, you cut out there.
It would just be like a scoreboard, and speedrun.com doesn't like scoreboards, so it's best just like have them on the minor game section.
Yeah. It's really confusing when people try to make scoreboards out of speedrun.com. For example, the
Oh
artistic
yeah.
swimming sport for Champion
Ooh,
Island.
yeah. There's a lot of different ways to do scoreboard, and here's the thing: scoreboards can work. However, you got to do it the right way. Say, like, for example, white tiles for Piano Master 2. That does it well because because it translates to the scoreboard a lot better than other games. I would say like games that go into the millions don't really work well on speedrun.com in my opinion because you have to like go very general with the score and that results in like a lot of tie records and stuff and it's just not great.
Yeah. Since artistic swimming doesn't go too high, there's just like they use the time to show what the score is, and we move on with our day.
Yeah. Yeah, I think also Free Rice is it's just like some quiz game, right? I don't even know how that got on speedrun.com, but anyway, they have a score category, but it's like the worst score category ever. And because it's a subcategory, which means you can't do the timer ascension thing. So pretty much if you get a terrible score, you're automatically put to first place. So pretty
Ah,
much it's a broken leaderboard there. So honestly, I think they should just remove the scoreboard for that.
yeah. Um, Another thing I want to ask you about is the aforementioned 50 hours that you've put into this. Why?
Um. Okay. Real thing is that I don't actually do one run that's like 20 hours or like one run that's like 2 hours. Majority of my runs are like under a minute. So pretty much, it's just that I've done a lot of them. Like say Satera, I have like 200 runs in Satera. I have 300 runs in Nerf Test Range, and basically I've just run a lot of games and do a lot of runs of the games and that basically adds up. Also, another thing is the score boards, like White Tiles 4, since that goes by score, that also adds up a lot more than say other stuff. So,
Oh, true,
yeah.
because
So
it
no, I don't like yeah. So I don't just really spend like hours and hours speed running. Mainly it's just like I submit a lot of speed runs
just
and it just
collective
adds up over
hours. It's
time.
been there a while.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot more people have like a lot more hours than me. I think Otterstone has like something like 500
Oh yeah,
hours,
Otterstone, the
and
other
he has
guy who
like
just
10.
grinds everything.
Oh yeah, Otterstone. He has like 10,000. He's close to 11,000 runs, and I'm like, how is that possible? How in like especially since it's only like 3 years. If you look at a lot of the other people who have a lot of speed runs. A good amount of them are like have been doing it for years. He's only been doing it for like 3 years, and he already has 10K, and I just think that's insane.
Yeah. I'm trying. I tried using the speedrun.com bot to look him up, but I don't know his speedrun.com username off the top of my head. Oh,
It's Otterstone underscore gamer.
all right. Runs. Yeah, for runs, he's got one speedy boy types. It's weird to see like bot is typing because
Oh yeah.
normally it just instantly sends.
Yeah, I think the thing with the bot is that once it goes over like 10,000, it just doesn't track anymore. So it's probably just gonna say 10,000. You know what? He would have had this is like a funny story because he would have had a lot more. But what happened is he reached 10,000 for the first time, right? And then some guy on some Roblox game with a lot of ILs accidentally deleted a level category, and he lost 1,000 runs because of that.
Oh man. Yeah. Bot just says
And he
full
was
game
able to get
4,000, individual level 6,000, total 10,000.
yeah, and
Still crazy.
and I really feel sorry for him because I feel sorry for both of them because like this guy who was doing it, he did it on accident. He didn't mean to straight up delete a level category. It was just he accidentally clicked delete and he got mod banned for it and lost 1,000 runs. And
Yeah.
1,000 runs. It took me a full year to get to 1,000 runs.
I
So
mean, were they really like the longest runs though?
I think they were like all like 1 or 2 seconds. I don't know. It was some Roblox game. I think Car Obby it was.
Uh,
I don't really like Roblox games at all because I think well Roblox games are really hit and miss. All right, there's some good Roblox games, but there's a whole lot of bad ones, and that mainly goes down to the leaderboards and the moderators of it as well. Because sometimes like there's this one Roblox game, longest obby ever, and it's like 1,000 levels. And originally they didn't even have ILs because they didn't want to. However, these two guys joined it, and they decided, hey, let's add all that 1,000 levels. And now they got a queue, and they had a queue.
uh, I really wonder what.
So
Yeah. Sorry, you cut out for a few seconds there. Mind reiterating?
yeah, and I don't get why they would add 1,000 levels to the obby game. I mean, I do. They added it because they wanted more runs, but they accidentally screwed themselves because Otterstone's as 1 second, meaning they had to retime all of them. So yeah, so I mean they were and some people say, oh, Java has like a
You're cutting out a fair bit. If you can still hear me, your Discord says 5,000. Your ping is literally 5,000. It's a little concerning. I can't hear you at all either. Okay, you seem to come back. Oh, there I go again. Yep. Okay.
Are you hearing me?
One of us is cutting out. I don't know which one.
Mm, all right. Let's
So,
see. Let me check my Wi-Fi real quick. Uh,
uh, the call's balancing between 1,000 and like 80.
yeah. We could just cut this. We could just like try to fix it and like cut the port out and then
Yeah, I can do that.
be able to. All right.
Anyways, as you were
Here,
saying before we were interrupted by the cut.
yeah. Basically, these guys who like who went to this Roblox game and added all 1,000 levels of this obby game. I feel like they got 1,500 runs in the queue, and that kind of say Java or recently Subway Surfers for some reason. They are like have a bunch of different people, but this game was all like two people, and that was it. And like they kind of just screwed themselves there because that was their fault for adding all those levels to it.
Yeah. I'm not sure what they expected if there wasn't already a leaderboard. I don't see why they would be like, "Ooh, this game should get a leaderboard." Yeah, woo. It's definitely going to be so
Yeah,
popular like we all wanted.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it got like a few active players. I think like 10, but that was about it. I think the queue is clear now, and that's because like they had to add a bunch of mods, and like one of them did all the verifications, and that was it. So pretty much, you know what? And the thing is, they also I think pretty learned their lesson because both of them have like backed off from moderating games for a while. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Sounds like that sounds like that's the correct play there, honestly.
yeah, I would agree with that as well.
To circle back around, have you considered the least favorite run spot?
Um, sure, like it's probably one of my first runs. I think I know it's one of the Wii Sports Resort categories I did. It was Frisbee Dog Pro. That was just a very unenjoyable run. It took 22 minutes, and pretty much I failed like half of it. I didn't record it because I was lazy, and it just wasn't fun at all. It was boring. I hated it. It's the one category of Wii Sports Resort I don't like.
Yeah. I never got to play Wii Sports or Wii Sports Resort or Wii Sports Club or anything. So,
Yeah,
what
yeah. I mean,
shame.
continue.
I should probably circle back around and boot up my dusty Wii U, maybe try to find a copy
Oh yeah,
before they self-destruct in 2023.
yeah, yeah. I feel like yeah. I think let me think. Yeah, just the Wii Sports Resort it's a good game. I like the speed runs, but at the same time, I freaking hate the speed runs because they're fun, but they're aggravating because if you like fail halfway through, it's a bitch and a half to restart it because you don't have to like just hit reset. No, you have to go get a new me, clear the history, and a bunch of other stuff, and it's just a pain.
Long reset times are the worst. And for Champion Island, I'm glad that we just have the press this button and at any point ever in the game. And good job, your progress has been successfully restarted.
Yeah, yeah, they don't have that in Wii Sports. Pretty much, you have to like get a new me to do it, and because of the speed run, there is really no way to restart it. So I get it, but yeah, I don't know. Hopefully, with in the new I haven't tried the new Wii Sports, Nintendo Switch Sports. Hopefully it's similar. It's not like that. I've looked at the speed runs and it's not like the other games at all. So
Oh yeah, I've been
at least
streaming
that's
that game
something.
recently, on Thursdays.
Yeah, casual plug.
Yeah, if hi guys, my YouTube channel has less subscribers than
Yeah, that's like me going, "Hey guys, you should watch my latest YouTube video from 6 months ago about Wii Music. It's about the Me Maestro category and it features me. You should go watch it at OrrinAccount on
yeah,
YouTube."
but just was I was actually playing it earlier today, and it's really just every Thursday. Wake up, check what the new set is. If you like it, just grind bowling, and good job, you've done it. But the other sorts are pretty fun. I like badminton, chimbara, which is just the sword play. It's pretty fun.
Yeah,
I heard
I
they're
think
adding
what's your
golf.
yeah, they are adding golf. And I haven't gotten it yet, mainly because I don't have any money. But I don't know how is it with I know there's no Mii's in it, and it's like the sports characters. Well, there is Mii's, but like
Yeah,
not the main draw. Like there's no, it's just like these sports mate things.
yeah.
Like I don't really know how I feel about that. I don't know. It
The
feels more like
sportsman
Deca
needs your
Sports than
help. All he needs is your credit card number, the three wacky digits on the back, and the expiration month and year. But act
yeah,
fast so the
yeah,
sportsmate can win soccer.
yeah. I don't know. No, I haven't looked at the reviews at all.
I think it's fine.
Pretty
If they had more
popular. Like
customization options for the sportsmates, I'd be much more down to really go into that character.
yeah, but you can also be a squirrel. So I mean,
He could also be Lean Skunk.
yeah, yeah. So I don't know. Maybe once I get it, because like I think the before that there was Clubhouse Games, and I remember when Clubhouse Games was released. Like unlike with this new Wii Sports, where like I haven't like checked speedruns at all, I was totally on Clubhouse Games, and like I was like one of the first people speedrunning it. I had a bunch of world records. I think like almost like 90% of them have been beaten by now, but I freaking loved Clubhouse Games. I thought that game was great.
Yeah, I that's one of them I never got around to, simply because I just saw a video on it and I was like, oh, it's a bunch of games I just have in my closet. Cool.
Yeah, I honestly though, I still think it's really good. It's a really good game, and I feel like it's better. It was better them doing that than doing a new Wii Sports. But you know what? Happens.
People popped off of
So
it. Switch sports. Golf isn't coming till later. There's no boxing, but now we have volleyball.
yeah, I also wonder how's that gonna work with the speed run with the golf adding, because like they have all
Speed
sports
golf.
right now. Yeah, but like when golf gets added, are they just gonna like create a new category for it? I probably answer my own question there. They probably are adding another subcategory for it that says with golf.
Or just obsoleting everyone's runs before golf and just saying, all right,
Just,
have
just,
fun doing
just
golf.
like yeah, it's just like they just straight up reject all runs.
Or add a flag that's like with golf or without golf. And the with
Yeah,
golf ones take priority.
I feel like the best solution for that would just be subcategories, since they already have subcategories for all sports. So I feel like if they just had another one that included golf, probably be a lot better.
I mean, there's things like
Probably.
low percent stuff that as soon as somebody figures out one less how to collect one less thing, not everyone's runs are obsolete. It's just that if somebody does it with that one less thing, it automatically takes priority, no matter how long it takes.
But yeah, that's what I remember. That's what happened originally with the disconnect glitch with Wii Sports. What happened is they discovered that, and they debated for like a month, and they was like, "Hey, should we keep this? Should we make this a separate subcategory, or should we just like make it like individual variable? It doesn't really matter." And originally it was a subcategory, but then they decided to just change it midway through to like a normal one. And I don't know. I used to be really invested in Wii Sports speedruns, but like I have recently fallen off it, and like, yeah. I mean, it's that, and like I'm gonna be honest, the community is like kind of just great. I mean, a lot of people think, "Oh man, it's so nice. They're so welcoming." That's like for like the first month, and like after that, they like don't even care. And so, yeah.
That's why I
But you
like
know
smaller
what?
communities, because
Yeah,
smaller communities like Champion
yeah,
Island, it's a few people you
yeah.
see every now and again.
Yeah, I also think a very few select big communities do are a lot better. Like Cetera. Oh, he's talking about Cetera again. Yeah, to be honest, I think Cetera is probably one of the best communities on speedrun.com. I mean, they used to not be. I remember like that 2019, 2018 drama where like it got to number 4 in like 2017 or something, and like it was really popular, and a bunch of people complained because it was just a bunch of old heads saying, "I don't like Cetera. It's not a real speed game," and a lot of people they just complained, and it was a whole controversy. Eventually got DHA banned from the speedrun.com Discord, and it was tagged unofficial, and it was like that for years. And then recently, I think the community census, like I feel like after Minecraft Classic and then Among Us Clicker later, I feel like after a bunch of those bad games got popular, and I feel like they stopped caring about Cetera. And since we took the tags Cetera, it's a lot more popular, and I don't really think anyone has complaints about it now, especially since the landscape has changed dramatically.
Cetera's. I haven't really played Cetera. What's the gameplay like?
It's a geography quiz game.
Ah, okay. Well, that's why I haven't played it.
Yeah, well, it's a geography website, and pretty much as it did, it's still one of the most active games on the site. It's been in the top 10 for like almost a full year now. So
Yeah. I had a thought. It always happens. Oh yeah. If I had a specific all doodle stream where I afterwards Red said like, "Yo, just do some geography quizzes." I'm like, "Fine." And then just some glorious clips from that stream.
yeah,
It just goes to show I don't know my geography.
quizzes in Cetera that I'm actually all right at. Most of it's like world content. Potential to be really popular in like streaming wise. And I think Cetera speedruns also have massive potential to be like extremely popular because XQC decided to do Cetera speedruns. Cetera would go on the games chart easily.
Oh yeah. When anyone popular is just put against anything,
Yeah.
it just you know most people are there because oh they saw this person do it and either they genuinely like the idea or they're doing it because that person did it.
Yeah, I think that's what happened with Snake. And I remember when that Google Snake Easy Species video popped off. They got totally swarmed. Like originally, like the game different then than it is now because then they did not have an in-game timer, and the community wasn't as big. It was still big. It was like Champion Island big, where like it was like a few hundred people, and and there was like a few dedicated people, and it would go very inactive sometimes. But then like after the Easy Speezy video, that community just blew up. That game just straight up blew up, and that's probably why it's so still super active to this day. So yeah, I also remember moderating it. Moderating it was a lot different than it is now, since like after the after the after it exploded, I was able to get moderator for it, and there was like 600 runs. It was insane, and it was all have to be retimed, and it was a nightmare. But we were able to do it. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Heavily contrasts the comments at the beginning of the video, like, just kidding, there are no categories. Are you sure about that? You sure, bro?
yeah, yeah. I don't know. It was funny because that guy who kickstarted Easy Speezy making the video, like he was actually really active. He was really active in the mobile speedrunning Discord, and I knew him way before that. And I just found it crazy that he randomly got Easy Speezy to do that. And I am really shocked that that pretty much kickstarted Easy Speezy being extremely popular. Because I remember when Speezy was had like 7,000 subscribers, and I was able to, and I like talked to him before then, and I asked him, hey, speedrun Minecraft Pocket Edition Lite. He's like, yeah, sure, baby. And then after that video, he just gained like 1 million subscribers, and now he's huge, and that's just kind of surreal for me. So
Yeah. It's a bit like I didn't really get to watching his content until after he got bigger, and then and I really wish he would do like Champion Island because whenever I see anything related to Champion Island, I just like smile because I'm
yeah,
like, that's the thing I do. For example, the Animal Crossing New Horizons Discord hosts a question of the day, and one of them asked about favorite video games, and someone said like Chrome Dinosaur game, and Champion Island was also in their list, and I was like, I've located my target. Here I come. Hello
yeah,
there.
yeah. I think the thing about Google, what happens is a lot of people, when they hear Google speedrun, they think the search engine. They think like,
Oh,
oh, you're just speedrunning the search engine. I'm like, no, that's not how you speedrun it, idiot. And they
we
also
put
think like
something
you
into
could
the
speedrun
search
the Chrome.
engine.
Yeah, you could also think like, oh, also, yeah. So that's the one bad thing with the Google related speedruns is that you get a lot of other games that get recognized, and because of that, I feel like yeah, that
Yep.
it still happens. But there's also like the new Ludwig video. He made a video about Google speedruns, and the speedrun is like the worst speedrun ever. It's like searching up a bunch of Google games, playing GeoGuessr, playing Google Feud, and a bunch of stuff like that. I'm like, how is that a good speedrun? That's dumb.
Well, it's just because it's all the popular games. It's like buzzwords, like ooh, buzzword games. I remember. I've seen
Yeah,
GeoGuessr videos. I've seen Google Feud. Those are funny. No one thinks about oh yay the Google Doodle Champion Island game or
yeah,
You remember that one time that you opened
yeah.
up the Google homepage and you saw a little game there? Well, no, because you didn't click on the game. That's a shame. Well, here's everyone doing it, but like lightning speed.
Yeah. And I feel like I understand it when he's like, "Oh, we're speedrunning Google. We're gonna speedrun the search engine and then Google Feud and GeoGuessr." I get it. It's because everyone knows that. Not everyone knows. Oh, we're gonna speedrun Chinese New Year 2013 Doodle. So yeah, I get it. I understand it. I think another thing though is actually I don't. I was gonna say something like I completely forgot.
No thinking, no
So
thinking aloud.
yeah, yeah. So yeah.
All right. Um, that seems like a good place to start wrapping up. I just want to say one thing. Plug yourself. I put people like yours. I put guests links in the description.
Yeah. If you want to subscribe to me on YouTube, it is OrrinAccount, and you'll know it's me because I have a bunch of speedrunning videos about dumb stuff. So subscribe to me on that, and I don't know, speedrun Satera. It's a good game, I promise.
I um Well, thanks for coming on to the show. Enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you another time.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.